I used to be a horse trainer. I used to be a riding instructor. Until the day I realized that somewhere I had gone off course. My days were filled with training horses, teaching lessons, and judging competitions. I was good at what I did. I could teach my students how to control their horses. But there was something lost in that process. I looked back at pictures and drawings from my childhood. In the beginning, there was a passion that drew me to horses, a closeness I felt with these gracious beings. Where had the beauty, majesty, and freedom of horses gone? I started to dream. If I could go and meet anyone in the world, who would it be? I looked at the books that inspired me and made a wish list of the authors I wanted to meet. These people broke with tradition and focused more on what we can learn from horses than what we can teach them. I made a choice to leave behind the life I knew. I sold my ranch to fund this search, bought a video camera and plane tickets, and set out to find a different way of doing things. My first stop was Colorado, to meet Mark Rashid, a tough-looking cowboy with a black belt in Aikido, who talked about passive leadership, softness, and the value of a still mind.
I was born down in Texas in the spring of '58. Built for a working man, guess that's just my fate. Cowboy from Colorado, for me he gives 6 months pay. Cinched me to the back of his horse, went to work that very day.
The boss in the herd can be referred to as the alpha horse. And a lot of people refer to that as the one we want to emulate. And if you've ever spent any time around any large herds of horses, it's really easy to find the alpha horse, the boss horse, because they're generally off by themselves, because the other horses don't want to be around them. So for me, I don't know why I would want to emulate that behavior in relationship to training and working with horses. But in a herd of 30 horses, there will be 29 followers and 1 leader, and the leader is generally an older mare, say in a wild herd. Stallions come and go, but mares stay for life. And so it's not necessarily going to be the bossy mare, it's going to be the one with all the life experience. It's the leader that can be trusted, whether it's with people or with horses. The way to develop trust is through consistency. If you're consistent, then you're dependable. If you're dependable, you become trustworthy. If you're trustworthy, the horse will be at peace with you, and if the horse is at peace with you, they can become soft. Softness comes from the inside of the horse or the person. Lightness is just on the outside. You can achieve lightness through training, meaning you can get a lot of things done, and they look really good. Right up until they get into a new situation. We see horses all the time that people will refer to as soft or light, and they'll bring them into a new clinic. Everything's going fine at home, and they bring him into a new situation and everything unravels. With lightness, the things that are trained into the horse are available when things are going relatively well. With softness, everything is available all the time. The softness that I'm referring to is the feel that the horse has when they're out on the pasture by themselves. In Japanese, there's a term, mizu no kokoro, which means a mind like still water. And if the mind is still, so if in the morning you go out and there's a pond out there and there's no wind and it's real still, the water's like a mirror. The mind is the same way. If you develop a mind like still water, that reflection becomes very clear. If your mind is still like that, things become a perfect reflection of what they really are instead of us assuming there's something else. Through training, we take all the softness out of the horse and we spend the rest of our lives trying to put it back in. And it's there, it's still there. We just have to look for it and develop it and nurture it and bring it out. It's ongoing, it's a journey that's going to take you all your life and maybe even longer than that. But it's good work if you can get it.